Scrawlrbox. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Scrawlrbox unboxing. Today is the month of October, so hopefully this one will have Inktober stuff in it, because the last one did not, like I was hoping. It is about the same weight as last month's. I found out that they have the weight on the bottom on the shipping labels, so maybe I'll use that information in the future. So, one unsurprising thing, I am actually unboxing this on the month that I got it. I never do that. So let's get on into it and open it up. Ah, I didn't rip it this time. Alright. The packaging stayed intact this time. We definitely got some very bulky things in here, so hopefully markers. I want markers, people. I want markers. Oh my flippin' goodness. Okay, I'm pretty sure that I know who this is by. Once again, it is. Oh my goodness. Okay, the first time I ever watched a Scrawler unboxing was on Draw with Waffles, and this is from her. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy I have artwork from her. Oh my goodness. I'm just geeking out a little bit. I really like her channel and her artwork. So the featured artist is Drawing with Waffles, and here is her information. It has her YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. This picture is so her. She loves purple, and it's all purple. I feel like she really tried on her hands. Alright, so let's see what's in the bundle. I think I'm going to try not looking again this time. I think I feel a pencil. Yep. So we have a Faber-Castell. It is a 2.5 HB pencil. I have never seen 2.5 before. And it's called Dessin 2000. I think we got the candy. It is a purple, they look like Smarties. So they look like purple Smarties, but they are called Parama Violets by Swizzles. These are definitely Smarties, which apparently a lot of places have different versions of Smarties. So we will try these. It matches the artwork perfectly. Alright, so next we have a paint pen. It is a DERWENT paint pen in white with a 0.5 size. Let me open it up. Yep, that's a paint pen. So you can actually see the paint inside. It's all bubbly and moved. Then we have the Scrawlrbox sticker, which is purple with some white specks. Once again, very on theme, or should I say on brand. Next we have a kneadable eraser. It says it's high quality kneadable eraser by LYRA. I've never seen a kneadable eraser in a box before, which is nice because you can keep it in afterwards. I always don't know what to do with my kneadable erasers once I've opened them. It's very squishy. Okay, I peeked and I saw the name and I'm super duper happy. What? We have Copic markers! Oh my goodness! Let me make sure I don't see my reflection, because I always do that. Right. People, don't look at my face. So we have some Copic Chow markers, and it's a set that also has a liner, it looks like, and like a glittery liner as well. Let me just take them out of here. I don't have that many Copics, so this is nice. So the two Copic colors we got are BV00 and BV04. And you have a brush tip on one end and a chisel tip on the other. And it has a nice line here to distinguish between the two sizes. You really can't go wrong with some Copics. Ooh, I'm so excited. Oh, I love this box. This is my favorite box. I'm so happy I got this box. Then you have a Copic multi-liner in 0.3, and it is the wine colored multi-liner. And these liners are water and Copic proof. I don't think I have any Copic multi-liners. So this one doesn't say Copic on it, but it was in the pack, so you would think of me buy them. It says ATYOU SPICA? ATYOU SPICA? I don't know. It's a 0.2 and in pink, and it says it's twinkling like the stars. Water-based pigment. It says do not drop and shake. Oh no, I dropped my pens a lot. That's not good. And this is what the nib looks like. It looks like it might be used like a paint pen. Maybe not. I probably should check on that because I don't want to break it. Yep, that is very glittery. I just got a little bit on my finger and it is sparkling already. I don't think I've ever used glitter in any of my art, so this will be interesting. What is this? Oh my goodness, they are spoiling me in this. So this is a special gift because this is the 50th box they've ever done. What do you know? And it is a little Scrawlrbox pin. I just started getting pins, so like this is so exciting. Look how cute it is. So nothing else in the bag. And we got some paper here. It's very smooth and pretty thick, like a medium thickness, I'd say. Definitely not transparent, very opaque. So let's see what those are called. It is a Canson The Wall 220 GSM. It is bleed proof and double-sided. It is meant for alcohol markers. It says it enables you to draw clear and precise lines with very fine nibbed pens. So it seems to be called The Wall because of the bleed proofness. Oh, and it was specifically designed for graffiti artists. So it definitely should be able to hold a lot of pigment. So even though this wasn't exactly the Inktober thing I was hoping for, which is a lot of black and white, I am so happy with this box. Oh my goodness. I am so happy. And the Scrawler Challenge is dressed to the nines. Ooh. This means I might be able to use my fashion design skills. Alright, let's go test this stuff out. I'm starting with the Copic Chow BV04, also known as Blueberry. The next Copic color is BV00, also known as Mauve Shadow. The ATYOU SPICA pen is a very nice purplish pink, which goes well with the other colors. I really like the glitter aspect to this because it's a very slight shimmer and not super in your face. Just gives it a little bit of class. And then we have the Copic multi-liner in Wine. It goes down smooth and is pretty much like any other liner that you're used to. I haven't used Copic multi-liners much, so I don't really know how it would be that much better than others. The DERWENT white paint pen goes down well on the Copics, as well as the multi-liner and SPICA pen. And the Faber-Castell pencil is just like your typical everyday pencil, in my opinion. Like, it does its job. There's really not much special there though, other than the fact that it's a 2.5 pencil, which, as I said, I have never seen. As you would expect from a Copic, the color goes down well and is very uniform in shade, but I do have to say on this paper it is a little bit speckly. It makes it almost look grainy, but you have to be up close to see it, so it's really not that big of an issue. Now that we have all these swatched out, it is time to work on the challenge. Now the initial idea that I had for this sketch was to use Drawing with Waffles Pinterest boards for inspiration. And she had some like really weird 80s retro outfits that were on there. Like advertisements from the 80s or 90s. I don't even know. I'll put a picture up. But I found the one pose very interesting and I really wanted to use that one. So that's where I started. Now all these poses are young girls. So I kind of went with the idea of what if it was a young girl who's playing dress up pretty much. So I want to do a lot of layers, but also keeping in mind the prompt, which was dressed to the nines. So I saw some of these other pictures, I will put them up, and it made me want to give her like a coat with tails, but in a more modern fashion. And I wanted to do something with see-through fabric to have some interesting overlays. And then I found this random picture of a tiger, so I wanted to do something with tiger stripe, which means this is getting to be a very eclectic outfit. Now for the first pose, she has her knees like kicking up, so I kind of like the idea of having a skirt or a tutu kind of thing that was see-through. And for her shoes, I gave her some like, they're men's shoes with the little tassel thing on the front. I don't know what they're called, but like the leather shoes that men wore back then, little tassel things on the front. They usually have intricate little cutouts and stuff on them, which I did not put on there because I don't have time for that. Also, it would be small details for no reason. Now, I was going to do this like I normally do, where I sketch it out on my iPad and then print it out and then use my lightbox to put it on the final piece of paper. But this Canson The Wall paper, it completely blocked out my lightbox. I could not see any light through this paper, so I had to change tactics. Because of this, I decided to completely redo my sketch, since I wasn't entirely happy with the initial one. I liked the outfit that I made, but I didn't like the pose. So I looked into my Pinterest references and found a fashion pose that I really liked and went ahead with that. So for the new sketch, I started with a line of action, blocked out the torso and pelvis, and the outline of the hips. Then, after getting the hands and arm positions right, I started working on the face. Since she is leaning to the side, I made sure when doing the lapels of the jacket to make sure it was going with gravity. To give the jacket a more modern look, I went for more blocky details on the lapels and tails. I wanted her skirt to be 3/4 in length, resting just a bit above her ankles. To draw a ruffled or pleated skirt, I find it best to make a straight line, and then go along that line with a squiggly line. Pretty simple. For the color, I'm going to start with the Spice of Pen to make the beads of her necklace. I'm doing something a bit different this time. Normally I'd like to put my lines down first and then color in, but this time I'm going to try coloring everything in and then putting my lines over top. To decide the color, I did map it out beforehand. I printed out a couple small versions of the sketch that I made in Procreate and then colored in those to decide what color scheme I liked best. Ultimately, I chose that I liked it best when she had lighter hair, a dark jacket, and a dark undershirt. For the hair, I chose the Spice of Pink. I gave it a really nice lighter value against the jacket, and the shimmer effect was also nice as well. I tried to leave highlights as best I could with this pen. Due to its size, it was hard to get any fine lines with it, so it was a bit bulky, and I used the white paint pen to go back over it in some places and even it out afterwards. Then I went on to mapping out the highlights of the undershirt with the Copic multi-liner. Once I was happy with the highlights, I colored the shirt in. Since I had finished coloring in the hair and the shirt, I decided to put the lines in for them ahead of time, as well as adding detail to the face. And I just added a spot of the darker purple to the overshirt, which is supposed to be the lighter purple. Oops. Let's just move on and ignore that for a little while. I wanted to try using the Copic brush tips to make highlights on the jacket. This is something that I'm not very used to doing since I'm not used to working with markers. I've been mostly just doing digital stuff for a while, but I am happy with how it turned out. Now with the jacket tail, I did cheat a little bit and use my colorless blender. I did this to try and lighten it up a bit because it should be a little lighter and desaturated whenever you see it through all the folds of the tutu or skirt or whatever you want to call it. I wasn't able to get it that much lighter, but I think it's good enough. Next I used the lighter Copic marker to color in the overshirt, still trying to use the brush nib to bring out the highlights. And then I went on to doing the shadows for the tutu and the jogger pants. At this point I had an idea for the mistake that I made earlier with the darker color on the overshirt and decided to try and give it an ombre effect at the bottom. I also added some darker shadows to the skirt. On the pants, I went in with the multi-liner, adding alternating scratch marks on the sides of them, trying to imitate tiger stripes. Afterwards, I added the rest of the line art to the piece and colored in the shoes with the Copic liner. I used BV00 to add shadow to the skin, as well as give her some blush and color in the sunglasses. Now, I don't usually put makeup on my characters, but I decided to try this time, and I gave her some lipstick in the BV04 and immediately regretted it. But then it grew on me and I got over it. I just think that because I'm not used to doing it, I just immediately think it looks weird whenever it's on my artwork. I also later tried to add some eyeshadow and once again immediately regret it because it was a very stark line, and I tried to smooth it out and feather it out some with the BV00. I decided to give the background a bit more interest by adding a purple square. And then I tried the technique where you take a colorless blender and make little dots or lines to give lighter areas in the color that you've already put down. I personally decided to do the dots and then went over them a couple times just to give them a bit more definition. Then I moved on to the DERWENT white pen, adding a white line around the figure, as well as highlights throughout the piece. I also added a drop shadow around her feet to ground her in the space. And then I was finished. I really liked how this piece came out. It was fun to design some clothes. I haven't actually done that in a while. The materials were amazing, as one would expect from a COPIC set, and the paper held up really well. I actually did the final piece on the same paper that I tested the products out on. Nothing bled through on either side. The color palette really brought me out of my comfort zone. I don't usually work in pastel colors. I usually stay more in the blues and reds and natural colors. As a tomboy, I just naturally strayed away from those colors. I've grown to have an appreciation for them, I just don't particularly want to wear them, so I usually don't design with them. But this challenge makes me really want to try and dabble some more in these colors I'm unfamiliar with. Now, the paper did warp, but I think that is just because my hands are always warm and they just do that to paper. I hope you guys liked watching this video. I certainly liked making it, and I loved receiving this box with the drawing with waffle stuff. I am super happy about that and how this artwork turned out in the end. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to watch more like it, you can subscribe to my channel because that'd be awesome. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.